Okay, let's see if this works. Hey, okay. We figured it out. Officially started using StreamYard by the recommendation of the Dungeon Delver. Um, so far, it works pretty good. By the way, um, my friend went to Ren Fair and brought me back bottles of ginger ale, and I went and bought bottles of cream soda. But we're gonna enjoy some of that ginger ale this evening. And he also got me this cup, which I thought was really neat. Anyways, it'll be an open chat this evening. Feel free to pitch me your questions and do as you so choose. But, anyways, so let's all discuss a little bit of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, shall we? Wait for a few more people to show up here. Kind of unannounced. I was going to do it at 10. I had to push it up to 9. So we'll stream for a couple hours. 2 by a couple. So, what to talk about first? It's been a while. I will say that. Has been a good bit since I've been on. Brother graduated. I posted about this in the community. But brother graduated. What else happened? Had a lot of stuff to move around. A lot of schoolwork to get done by the end of the year. A lot of my time was taken up probably by school. Most of it was. Had some issues with some friends and stuff. All got that all sorted out, but life is life, and it sometimes kicks you in the butt. But anyways, welcome to the stream, everyone. Trying to figure out what to talk about. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to shoot a comment my way. I'm willing to talk about almost anything. Almost anything. Keyword there, almost. Yeah, let's talk about it. I also figured out how to like flip the camera so like that it's not reversed, so that it's not the left side, it's the right side. Anyways, so that was kind of cool. Figuring things out. We're figuring things out over here in YouTube land. We're slowly upgrading the stream. Slowly but surely. And with the new job on the way, we're gonna get ourselves an official webcam. Get this streaming real good. Yeah. I'm in the. Sorry, just got back. I share the channel on Twitter. All good. No, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be streaming again. Also, it's real handy that you can do like a little headline. Just this is going to be me talking about StreamYard for a little bit. It's real handy you can do a headline, put the Patreon right down there, so I don't have to copy and paste all the time. Love StreamYard over YouTube Studios. Can't mention it enough. But yeah, it's a good little platform. So, enough about StreamYard. Enough about me setting up StreamYard. What do we want to talk about this evening? Any particular things? I guess we'll start with what I got in the mail today. Real cool. Thought it got lost. Didn't, apparently. It was. I know. It's exciting on getting a job and getting everything set up. It'll help raise the quality of the channel twofold, hopefully. But yeah, let's talk about what we got in the mail. So we got a couple things. I had from a long time ago, Ardenville, the Halls of Ardenville, Volume 1, and then the PDF of 4. Anyways, today in the mail, I got both 4 and 2. These are not cheap books. I ordered these. I asked for them a long time ago. And a really cool thing got them as gifts from my grandma. Love you, Grandma. But yeah, got them as gifts. They're both 2 books, and I ordered them quite a while ago. But of course, with print on demand stuff, it takes a little bit to get here. But yeah, now I have 4 and 2, so now I need 3 and 5, and that's the full set. But I am starting to run this adventure. I think we're meeting Wednesday. I think that's the plan. But anyways, yeah, it's a little neat adventure. For those of you who haven't run it, it's a mix of both sci-fi and fantasy. So it's sci-fi fantasy, but it's set in this Roman, Anglo-Saxon, Norse kind of landscape. It's set in this world called Magi. I think it's Magi. We just call it Mage at the table, but I think it's actually Magi. We just call it the world of Mage, though. That's like the Earth that sits on. And then we had some other things that we talked about with this. I'm trying to think what else was like the big things that I like when I pitched it to my players. What did I say? It takes place in like this really old, like it's on the ruins of an Egyptian civilization. So there's Set and Thoth and all these like Egyptian gods. And the guy that made it is like a big history professor. Now I know it's been around for quite some time, but I can't. And there's a lot of people that are confused on how to run it. I only run maps for the tactical areas. The rest I kind of just describe, or I do on a very large scale and have like one mini representing the player characters. But it's a lot easier to like reading through it and running it. It's set up in a way where it's really easy to run it. Anyways, if you ever get a chance to look at Ardenville, highly recommend it. What else did I get? Trying to think. Well, my friend bought me a 5th edition thing. I don't know why. I think he heard Dungeons and Dragons and was like, well, this'll fit. And he bought me like a 5th edition, like the Curse of Strahd book. I ran in that game once. I prefer Ravenloft to Curse of Strahd 5th edition. Personal opinion. It's in a better system, in my opinion. And I'm like, thanks. I can't. I don't know. I was like, do you want to play D&D sometime? And he's like, no, I looked at this adventure and I just thought it'd be something you're interested in. I'm like, I read Dracula and I like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play 5th edition though. So anyways, yeah. That was a few of the things that I got as gifts. And of course the ginger ale. I got a cloak brooch from when I went to the Ren Fair. I'll show you. This guy was like forging on an anvil in front of a bunch of people, and I saw he was making like a cloak brooch, and he's like, "Yeah, come back in like an hour and it'll be done." I'm like, "Okay." So I came back in an hour, and I bought this. It's an actual cloak brooch. It was forged there at the thing. The pin swings out. But yeah, it's an actual cloak brooch. And I thought that was kind of cool. So when I go to GaryCon this year, or not this year, next year, and I wear my cloak, on the one day that I wear my cloak, I now have a cloak brooch. So, pretty cool. And I bought some other like little things he was selling, but overall it was a good experience. I need more ginger ale. Yeah. Anyways. I'm trying to think. What is in other news of things that have happened or things that I have bought recently? I don't know. I'm starting a new home game with a new group. One of the players I played with before, 2 of the players are new. One of them is not brand new. I played with him before, but not in the same group. So we have Javier, who is one of my players from my other game. And that game came to a finish. And then we have Ian, who was in one of my games a long time ago, and then Kyle. Kyle has only played 5th edition. He made a 1st edition character, and then he made a 1st edition character with me recently. He's playing a half-elf illusionist, I think. But he's playing that, and overall, he seems to be liking it a little bit better. Hopefully he does. Who knows? What are you drinking there? Oh, this is ginger ale. It is apparently. So there was this company I think it was called Bud's Root Beer. And Bud's Root Beer sells ginger ale, cream soda, and root beer. Yeah, ginger ale, cream soda, root beer. And if you got the $5, this was their large, and it was a $1 refill. Or you get the small, which was like a smaller bottle. And it was $3 and $1 refills. Now, I was going to get the better deal. Just saying, I think that this is the better deal is the large for $5. I think I made a smart decision. Yeah. And if you took it on the second day, you could get $1 refill still. So I just walked around with a bottle for the entire day. I was at Ren Fair, the Renaissance Fair. I go to the local one. It's really fun when you go. I went with a few of the people I play D&D with. And we went and we just kind of bought stuff. And there was a guy there who has the rights to, he writes in the Dragonlance series. And he's writing AD&D game products still. Like he's probably in his 30s or 40s. And he writes AD&D adventure modules and was selling them at the Renaissance Fair. I was going to buy one, but instead I bought one of his like paperbacks. And he writes a novel set in his own game world. It's so cool to me. Because that's what I've wanted to do. I wanted to write in my game world, my adventure. Not my adventures, but like an adventure story. I think that's cool. Like this guy is doing what I want to do. Anyways. Okay. So, I'm trying to think what else to talk about. The new party composition that I'll be dealing with is an illusionist. This is from my Arden Vol campaign. I'm dealing with an illusionist played by Kyle. I think Javier is going to play his dwarven cleric that he seems to bring back in every game. And Ian, I don't know what he's going to play. Ian's the wild card. He could play a fighter or he could play a thief. And I don't know. If he plays a fighter, he'll probably play ranger. If he plays thief, if he plays the thief, he wouldn't play an assassin. He would just play a thief. But he might try to roll up a ranger if his rolls suit him well. But yeah, I think that's what I'm dealing with. And whatever we don't have, I think we're going to try to get a 4th person in to play whatever, like the thief or the fighter, whatever would occur. I'm trying to think. I keep trying to think. As for just how do you call it? Channel wise, that's what channel content. I don't know what our next series is going to be. I'm still kind of thinking it over. I think I might do just a couple freeform videos. Yeah, let me know your ideas on that. If you what ideas, and then I want to kind of do a couple of videos on an old game system from like 1979 called Boot Hill, the 2nd edition, because I know the first one came out in like 1975. shortly after OD&D, and then I want to do a couple videos in OD&D character creation, but I'm not sure what do you all want to see. So let me know, and yeah, we'll have a little chat about what do you want to see from good old Vile over here. So you have any ideas? Shoot them in the little chat, and we'll see about that. Yeah, trying to think. Otherwise, um, I'm gonna do a video on handouts eventually. I know I am at some point. Um, like a player document like a world document handout. Because I just finished mine for Ardenville. And then I think I'm gonna do a video on just combat, like basics of combat and how I run it. It's actually kind of funny. I was telling my friend what he needed to know to run AD&D, and I was able to do it on like my mat, and he was like, "That's surprisingly simple." And I go, "Yeah, yeah, it is. It's surprisingly easy once you pick it up. The hard part is people are so scared to jump that hurdle into getting into it. I like the adventure building. Oh, yeah, that would be kind of cool. Sorry, I completely got sidetracked. But as soon as comments pop up, yeah, I could do the adventure building live stream again. Um, that'd be kind of neato. Neat. Ugh. We're gonna hop over here. Sorry, checking other notifications that I have. Close in here. Let's see. What was I going to do? I'm going to real quick post a checking the Discord real quick. General convention announcements. Also, if you haven't signed up, I don't know if sign up's still open. I think it is. You'd have to ask the Dungeon Delver, but Guac is coming up pretty soon. I know that's coming up. I'm trying to think. Let's see, AD&D. Sorry, I'm also going into the thing, and I'm just gonna type in. We'll say, everyone. Oh, I can't do that one. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But I was typing to my group. Okay, I think I have everything. Also, the Reddit community for AD&D has kind of dwindled. Last year it was booming, and there were a ton of people who wanted to play. And I tried posting a couple adverts, and I can't get an online group. It must just be people who are busy, or people are busy. I have no idea. But anyways, because I tried putting up a couple things on there for Ardenville. I tried running Ardenville online because it's easier to manage that. But I've been kind of struggling with getting a group online, which last year was not the case. And then I did try running a game online, but then everything went to the crap shop, and we all know what happened after that. No, to be honest, it was just rough there for a couple months. It wasn't necessarily 21 days ago. I had to repost this. Okay, sorry. I'm like trying to manage like 7 tasks, and then I go silent because I don't like I'm trying to read things. Anyways, so I think I'm going to try to run Ardenville again online, or I'm going to try to do an online game at some point. So if any of you are interested in joining an online game, let me know. I'm sure we can. I'm sure I could work out a game system to play, or just run the good old AD&D, which is what I'm probably planning on doing. But anyways, I recently got asked about like how I got into AD&D by I think one of my friends who plays 5th edition. They're like, why do you play a game from like the 70s? So I'll tell the story. I think I've told it a couple times, but I'll tell it again. I like it. So my best friend, who I've been best friends with now for like 10 years, his dad played and his uncle played. And so we as kids, like 8-year-olds, found the books and we're like, oh, we want to play. So his uncle sat us down and played we played a version of the game that I can only like I played an elven wizard, but the character sheet was so simple that it was basically like playing a combination of basic and AD&D. Like we were not using these complicated system survival checks. It was very dumbed down for us as kids. But it worked. It worked. And that's the important thing, is it worked. The other thing that we played often as kids was a game called Hero Quest. I loved Hero Quest. That's another game where you feel like an adventurer. It's a board game. I love it. We played the old one too. We didn't have the new one, and we had all these extra classes and stuff. And we played like full-length campaigns on that little board. And I think at one point we even had a separate board that we used. I feel like my friend's dad had like a second board or something from a different game that he used for he had a bunch of different boards that we would use. And I looking back at it, I think that only one of them was probably the original. Because there was a dungeon board, and I know the game has a dungeon board nowadays. But then there were like other like boards that we would use. I liked Hero Quest, but it was a combination of D&D, Hero Quest, and then my best friend getting me into The Hobbit. All of those combined curated my love of fantasy, and this was all like around the age of 8, 9, and 10. Like it was a span of like 3 years getting me to DM. But that was probably the best the first time I played. I do not remember the adventure. I remember the characters. I shouldn't say I don't remember the adventure. I kind of remember we went through sewers, and I feel like we fought a rat king. But it wasn't this grand adventure. Like we went into the sewers and mucked around and crap. Like it was not this grand adventure of we went and fought a dragon. No, we were like first level characters, and I feel like we went and fought a mutated rat who called himself the Rat King, something like that. It was a good experience. It was overall a good experience. I really liked it. But anyways, like as a person nowadays, and I know it's hard to get like a kid my age into Dungeons and Dragons because a video game can be so captivating. And video games are great. Do not get me wrong. I play the occasional Skyrim. I play the occasional Fallout 4. I play video games, but they have limitations. I can't go off the map. I am defined by this area. Whereas if I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, I'm not defined by this small area. I could go to outer space. I could go to other worlds. And to me, there's something more satisfying about being able to create my own adventure than just being given a couple options in an adventure that was already pre-made for me. I think that the biggest hurdle for kids nowadays is realizing that video games are great, yes, but at some point they aren't as gratifying as tabletop role playing games. Or I would even say, and my friends hate me for this, but I would even say you can have a lot of fun playing video games with your friends, but I feel like you can have more fun with the communal storytelling that you get from Dungeons and Dragons at a table. You cannot change the experience you're given at a table. But anyways, yeah. That's just my personal thoughts. Don't know where that came from. I think I sidetracked pretty hard there. But that is just my personal take. And there was something that I was reading online about people who just like destroy their gaming groups. What is the point in that? Like, everyone is there to have fun. Why are we trying to kill each other's characters for no reason? Again, I think the biggest struggle that I've ever had is a person who said, I'm playing my character. Well, if your character is a jerk and you're playing your character like a jerk, then change your character. Like, at some point, you are not melding with the group. Your character is causing more trouble out of game than they are, or even in game. They're causing a lot of, like, I don't care if your character's causing trouble in game. Like, in game, if your character decides to pick the pocket of one of the PCs, that's fine. I don't, like, I mean, if you feel like you need to pick the pocket of another person at the player table to get you entertainment, I go for it, I guess. I don't get it. The DM brings the world and adventure hooks. The players bring the crazy plans, and the dice bring chaos. These together create stories we remember. I fully agree. I fully agree. But, I mean, it's the whole point of there's players who feel like in order to have fun, they need to ruin everyone else's experience. That, as an overall experience, is going to cause, like, in-game trouble. Like, if your player, like, let's say your thief decides to backstab the mayor's son, and you didn't know it was the mayor's son. Well, you now have caused trouble in-game. The players in-game might be mad at you. The players out of game won't necessarily be mad at you. But if you are picking the pocket, and picking the pocket was not a good thing. I would not say pick the pocket of every player character. If you're picking the pocket of every player character at your table, then you are going to cause trouble out of game. People are going to be inherently mad at you because you are doing something that is disrupting the flow of the game. And that isn't influenced by your in-game character. I get it. Thieves love shiny things. Go pick the pocket of a local. Do not pick the pocket of your fellow PC, even as tempting as it may be. Unless it's like a key that you need for a door and you don't want to ask for it from the paladin who ain't going to trust you. Just swipe it. I mean, I could see that. But if you are just taking money from other PCs to go, well, I need a suit of chainmail. First off, you're a thief. I do not think you can wear chainmail. I'm almost certain you can't wear chainmail. Why are you trying to buy it? Secondly, if you are... Sorry, pouring myself the last of this ginger ale. If you are disrupting the game to the point where people are getting mad out of game, change your tactics a little bit. Be more, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know. Anyways, be more gentle about things. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm just saying everyone's here to have a good time. Let's all have a good time together. There are other people's pockets who you can pick. It doesn't have to be Steve the Ranger. Anyways, yeah, that's that little rant over. Overall, I think I'm going to shoot a message over on the Discords. Let's see what we got here. What do we got? The show. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about what to look forward to with the channel. I think we're going to come to a close here at 10 o'clock, maybe 10:15. So I got like 30 minutes, 15 minutes. I'll decide. I will probably get. I'll probably get off at like 10:15 will probably be end call. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about what to look forward to in the coming days. Obviously, we have upcoming. I am going to probably bring my. I want to do one of my player interviews. I will probably bring. I'll probably bring Javier on to talk a little bit about his experience with D&D. I will talk a little bit. We'll probably have him talk a little bit about the first campaign he played in, and then I'll probably take the suggestion and do more adventure designing stuff, more adventure designing live streams. And then also next week I will be in New Orleans until Thursday, so I will not be able to post until Friday or Saturday. So I will try to get a couple videos recorded so I can fill in that spot between Friday and Saturday, but probably don't expect live streams between Sunday and Friday, or between Sunday and Thursday. I'll probably do on Friday. But anyways, I think that there's a lot to look forward to. Definitely a lot to look forward to. I know there's a lot to look forward to. I just need to figure out what it is. The biggest struggle I have is have fun on Bourbon Street. We're not going to be that far from Bourbon Street, actually. We are doing so I'm going through my choir, and we're doing like a steamboat. We're going to be mostly in the French Quarters. But we're doing like a steamboat, like jazz song thing one night, and it should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna do some short form content, and we'll do some probably short series here and there. It's just a lot of me figuring out my ideas and not being upset with the fact that the video isn't just right. I need to get over the fact I can be very nitpicky about videos sometimes, but because then I'll always go back and something will be wrong. I need to just make content. This is why I need people to watch my content before I post it, because I always feel like it's terrible, and then they'll be like, no, it's actually pretty good. I need to get back to doing that. Yeah. So, we are coming to the top of the hour pretty soon. 13 minutes. So I will leave the last 13 minutes to all of you. Let's talk a little bit. What do you want to see from me? Good old Vile over here. What do you want to see? Obviously there's the adventure live streams that we talked about. Is there any topics you want covered? Is there any, I don't know. If there's anything you would like to see, please leave it in the chat. I would be more than happy to oblige you all with content that you're looking forward to. I'm trying to think. While I wait, I'll think a little bit here about what the next. I know the next video is definitely going to be on world documents and why they're important. Probably on house rules too. Probably on house rules. Almost definitely on house rules. I'm almost definite that I'm going to have house rules as one of the videos. But anyways, so let's see. I'm trying to think. I had a document at one point. I probably buried in my Google Docs. It has a bunch of ideas on it. Combat's a big thing that needs to be covered, and hex crawling. Hex crawling is a lost art. Build a bad guy. Some campaign diary entries, just to name a couple. Hey, those are pretty good ideas. building a bad guy. I could do that. With us now heading into Arden Vol, I will probably start doing campaign diaries. I've had this idea about what is it called? It's like a before and after. So I I talk through my prep, like do my prep work, and then I cut the recording, stop the recording, and then I come back afterwards and I talk about how the game actually went. I thought about doing that. That's just like a personal thing that I thought about doing, and I think that that could be interesting. And I know people have done it. I'm almost certain people have done it. And for campaign diaries, I want to do if I did something like that, I'd want to do something along the lines of similar to like what the Dungeon Minister does, similar to what Matt Colville did. Just a lot like that. But yeah, I think those are a lot of ideas that I have in general. So, with that, I am trying to think. The last thing I think we might cover here before I pop off is players, getting players to play. The biggest struggle I think when it comes to games is getting an active player base. Once you have an active player base, you're set, almost always set. The biggest thing is the hook. Don't be dead set on an adventure if you know that there's a couple players. Always do an elevator pitch beforehand. Say, hey, this is what I got in mind. What are your thoughts on it? Before I even start writing an adventure before the session, I say, or even before I would, like, I purchased a ton to get inspiration. Like, I would have bought Arden Volt even if I wasn't going to run it. I would still buy it because it's such a cool adventure. There's so much I could draw from this. And eventually I'd have a group that would want to run it anyways. But give the quick elevator pitch of say, hey, I got a couple adventure ideas. Here's what they are. I would say give them the generic premise, give them the world setting, and give them a lethality. Because if it's a high lethality game, there's some groups that aren't into that. My group, personally, not a big fan of high lethality games. Death is always a thing that occurs, but if you're having almost the entire party die every single session, for my group, they just don't like that. I like that. I personally, I can run games where I could have almost every person die and have one person come back to live the tale. And I've had groups where that has been fun. The entire thing is them struggling to survive. And mostly it was running through like places like Tomb of Horrors and generally hard dungeons. Like I've had players die in Keep on the Borderlands. Keep on the Borderlands is a very lethal game. I've had people die in, I think it's in Search of the Unknown is the precursor to it. I've had people die in that, and they've had fun. They've had fun dying, but my groups just they like a game where yes, it feels like a struggle to survive, but sometimes you might almost get to your goal and then maybe one person dies. Not the let's drop half the party. Yes, if a game goes wrong, that's a possibility. For my group, they want to make their biggest thing is leveling up, and they play safe. They play it safe too much, I think. But they do. Yeah, that's just some personal things. But overall, give the elevator pitch. Get some people interested. If you've had someone who's never played D&D, give them an elevator pitch of D&D. 9 times out of 10, I am sure you'll get someone who's interested in playing. That 10th person either still thinks it's satanic or just isn't interested. But 9 times out of 10, I'm almost certain you'll be able to get someone. That's another thing. I want to do a video essay on the Satanic Panic. I'm going to do that. Speaking of people thinking I'm satanic. Because one of my friends, his mom, genuinely thinks that D&D is brought about by the devil. And I do not know why. I have no idea why. But anyways, we are 5 minutes from close here. Or 5 minutes from 10. So I think we're gonna wrap this up a little bit, and then we're gonna wrap this up. We are gonna wrap this up for the evening. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of shorter live stream, and I hope you're looking forward to the content that I have in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. There's the Patreon right there, and of course that is me. I love the little pointing things. Anyways, I grew up during the Satanic Panic. It was something. It was certainly something. I've done a couple papers on it, and those have been my best papers. Something I'm passionate about. Anyways, yes, I hope you all have a good evening. And yes, thank you for watching. Anyways, I think that's it for me. So, peace out.